Welcome back to the channel for another video on our 22 WRX. This week, we're finally going to get our front brakes installed from TDMi. I'm really excited to get these brakes installed for a few reasons. The first reason obviously is we're going to have increased stopping power. We do have an ETS turbo kit on it. We are making over 400 wheel horsepower. So these stock brakes are definitely not out to the task anymore. And not only are these brakes going to stop better, but they're also going to be a weight saving. So once we get one of the sides taken off, we'll weigh it and we'll just compare it to what TDMi has. Now, they did advertise it's about 10 pounds savings per wheel, but we're just doing the fronts today, so we'll see what it is. But enough talking. Let's go to the bench. I'll show you what color we picked out, and then we'll start the install. Let's go. All right, so you can see that we got the blue with the white lettering. I really like how this color turned out, and I really like how it looks. I think it's gonna look great on this car. We will do some other accents to complement the blue. I was thinking about getting like an engine bay cap set to maybe match this color. But I think this looks great. These two-piece rotors, these look amazing. These look so cool. I can't wait to see these behind the wheel. And you can see they do have like an arrow on them, so I matched them up together. So this is actually going to be the passenger side, and this is going to be our driver's side. And I do have the brackets right here. It does come with hardware. New stainless lines, obviously for both sides, and then hardware too. So the banjo bolts, and this is the bracket here to hook up the brake line. Well, that's everything in the kit. I really think this kit from TDMi is very thorough. I think it's going to be a very easy install. Once we get everything hooked up, we'll just bleed the brake system, and I'll show you guys how to do that. They were nice enough to send me the bleeding procedures, so I will review that with you as well. So last thing I want to show you guys is while we're at Boxer Fest, they did give me a banner. So in the background, you are going to see our TDMi banner in the background. And if you guys wanted to pick up a set of TDMi brakes, I will have the discount code somewhere on the screen here, and I will have it in the description below. You can save some money, and you can pick up some of these brakes, and you can pick a custom color as well. Enough talking. Let's get this car jacked up, and we'll get the wheels taken off. I think we're going to get working on the passenger side first, and then we'll work our way to the driver's side. We'll keep the front in the air only because we're only going to need to be bleeding the front brakes. So enough talking, more working. Let's go. All right, quick and easy. We got the car jacked up. We got both the wheels taken off. So just looking at what we need to do, you can see our brake line back there. I did just grab a couple sizes and check them. So our brake line is going to be this 10. You definitely want to use this flared wrench. Also, some vice grips are recommended. If it does get stuck, you can just grab onto the metal part and you can wiggle it and get it loose. And then the two bolts that hold the caliper on, I do have this 19 right here, so that should take the caliper off, and then the rotor should just fall off. So it should be just as simple as that. I think first we're going to take off the caliper. We'll just hang the caliper to the side. We'll get the rotor taken off. We'll get the TDMi stuff put on. We'll get the bracket mounted. We'll get the rotor on and the caliper on. Once all of that is mounted up, the last thing that we'll do is disconnect the brake line just to minimize fluid coming out or anything, and then we'll hook that up real quick. So let me get you guys set up and we'll get this side completed. Let's go. right, so once you have the brake system basically taken apart, you have the rotor off, you have the caliper just hanging. You want to grab one of the supply brackets. Now the brackets are the same on both sides. You do see one side is recessed a little bit, so you do want that to go facing the inside of the car. So use the OEM bolts. These are going to go through the hub, and then this is going to thread into the new bracket. So you want this to go back towards the inside of the car. So let's get this bracket put on. We'll get the rotor mounted. We'll hold the rotor on with just a lug nut, and then we'll get the caliper mounted, and we'll see how it looks. And just like that, with 4 bolts, we have our rotor and our caliper mounted. So I really think, let me get you guys a little bit closer. I really think this looks great. Oh, let's get that shadow out of the way. That's my spotlight in the back. But dang, that looks really good. That combo there with the blue and the white lettering. The rotor just looks so cool. So just to recap what we did, we reused the 2 OEM bolts to mount the bracket to the hub, and then we used the supplied Allen bolts to mount the caliper to the new bracket. So this is how it looks. This looks really good. You can see our old caliper hanging there. So I'm going to get our brake line taken off. I'll get our new brake line on. So here is the brake line they gave us. So this is the end that's going to go onto the caliper. And here is the new banjo bolt. And there are 2 washers. So obviously just sandwich the 2 copper washers in between that guy. And we'll get this brake line put on. All right, and this side is all buttoned up. You can see our brake line right here, all tightened up. We do have the bracket, my shadow's in the way. We do have the bracket right here, and it literally just bolts right on, and you just clip the little rubber thing on, and we have the line tightened up here. So everything is done on this side, minus obviously just bleeding it. So we're not going to bleed it until we get the other side completed. So if we go all the way to the other side, you can see I already got the tools and everything moved over. So before we get this side completed, I want to get the stock rotor and caliper weighed, and we will get our TDMi rotor, bracket, and caliper weighed as well. We will see what type of weight reduction we are getting, and then we will get the other side installed. So let's get this measured right now. All right, so we got our scale here. Let me put a towel down so we don't scratch that up. All right, so we got our scale set up here. It is, let me push down on it again. All right, scale is on. Let's get our caliper loaded and the rotor. So we're sitting at 35.8 pounds. If you guys can see that, 35.8. All right, we're sitting at 26 pounds. So that is about 10 pounds each side. So that's about 20 pounds that we're taking off of the drivetrain by doing this brake upgrade as well. But you see I'm already sweating a little bit. It's getting hot in the garage. So it is the next day. I just ran out of time yesterday. We had to go inside, eat dinner. But let's just go to the other side. It's going to be the exact same process. I'll get you guys set up and we'll get it knocked out, and then we will bleed the brakes. Let's go. And there you go. So this side is all buttoned up and complete. We have the brake line on. We have everything buttoned up. And the other side is all buttoned up as well. So we got the garage door open and I got the fan on because we were spraying some of that brake clean, and it's just intoxicating in here. So just need to get all these fumes out. But everything is ready to bleed the brakes. I'll put on the corner of the screen here, probably on this left side, so of the bleeding procedure that was sent to me. So even though the ABS unit is on our passenger side, so usually you want to go from the farthest of the ABS unit, but they as in Subaru, they actually tell you to do right front first and then left front when you're doing just the front. So we're actually going to do the passenger side first, which is the closest to this ABS reservoir or the ABS solenoid, and then we're going to do the driver's side. And when you do these calipers, you want to do the inside first to get the fluid into the caliper, so just like a few in there, and then you're probably going to want to do like 10 or 15 like back and forth, and then you're going to have a buddy in the car. I'll have my wife come out and she will get in the car and step on the brake for us. Once we get everything bled, we will get the wheels put on and we will see if these things work. Well, enough talking, let's get some work done. And there we go. Our front brakes are installed. As you can see, the car is out of the garage and we have gone on our successful test drive. We have bedded the brakes in, and wow, just like look at how they look behind the Kansai wheels. I mean, this combo with this color, the blue with the white, and then the matte gray, or this like gray that's on the Kansai wheels. I really think this combo looks really good. The rotor, the design of the rotor looks really cool too. It looks very aggressive behind the wheel combo. I can't be more happy with how this looks and how this turned out. I was just looking to see if there's any cars coming, but it doesn't do justice on camera because you can't really see the brakes, I guess, that well. But in person, I mean, these things look so clean. My only regret is not getting them for the rear, so I definitely need to hit up TDMi and get a rear set ordered up. These just look so good. And if the rears perform as good as the front, I mean, I'm really gonna love them. These things, they have a really good bite initially, and then it's just like pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable as far as pedal after that, but it has a hard initial bite and then very predictable pedal just for like normal driving. Now these do have the street pads on there. I know if you do hit them up, they do have race pads available as well, but these are the street pads. They are nice and quiet. Another thing to note with these brakes over like maybe the Brembos or like the fake Brembos, because I know there's like some Amazon fake Brembos out there. These still retain the stock dust shield and everything, so if you do want to keep that OEM like dust shield, just keep everything clean back there, these brakes work directly with all the OEM stuff. It's just a direct bolt-on, everything goes over, it just works, and just like look at those results. Just so good. Well, that's all I got for you guys on this one. The brakes look and they feel amazing. So if you want to order yourself a set of TDMi brakes, I'll have a discount code on the screen here, and I will have a link in the description below where you can check them out. Other than that, I'll see you guys until the next one. See ya.